Take off your hand from me. It looks weird. You guys, this video has been a long time in the making. I've been wanting to record this. Andres, you asked me why, and I just thought, I think it's nice to kind of have it all together, the story of how we met and how we actually ended up getting married to each other, because I think for a lot of people, it just sort of happened, boom. There's a lot of people that weren't in the details. There's very few people involved. And to be honest, I thought I wasn't gonna get married at all. I just didn't think it was happening for me, and I accepted it and I just moved on with my life. I thought, that's just not a path for me, and I have to learn to be happy with my own life, doing whatever I do. And a lot of people say it, but you don't really understand until you get there, that you have to let God be your everything and everything. You have to learn to find your happiness in God. And it's so interesting because as soon as you learn that lesson, I think that's when it usually happens for people who are meant to be married, because I think many people idolize marriage, like saying this is the maximum status that you can achieve in life. And I'm not just saying for Christians, but I think a lot of people in the world think so too. Like, okay, you grow up, you get your career, you get married, you have kids and stuff. That's sort of like the cycle of that many people have followed forever, it seems. So it feels strange, like when, you're in your late 20s, it's not happening for you, and that's okay. But I wanted to ask you, like, how did you feel too? Because in your late 20s, did you feel that you were gonna get married?
No.
Okay.
I felt very lonely.
You felt lonely. Have you tried already, like, to other relationships before?
Yeah, I was trying with some girls at church, because I'm Christian, and I didn't find any woman as
Okay.
you.
Well, look at the camera when you say that,
As you.
because you're looking away. It seems like maybe you're just lying.
As you.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, the same thing with me. It's not like I didn't get to meet any people, but the funny thing is with me, I don't know if other people have felt like this, though whenever I felt like somebody was getting very serious, or just in the middle of our friendship, I just felt like something was really wrong. Like, I would start getting like a very, very strong anxiety, and I just felt like I just needed to get out of that situation. And for something that I haven't told a lot of people, is that I would usually get a dream, and I just felt like after that dream I was like, nope. Like, I can't do this. And so I would just get out of the situation, or I had the experience of people trying to pressure me. And I think it's just so funny. I don't know what you think about it, but because Andres told this to me too, about, I feel this peace. Like, ladies, there's gonna be guys that tell you, well, I feel peace, like we should continue this friendship, see where this leads to. But if you don't feel peace, don't even. Like, and I don't mean it, maybe you guys mean it sincerely. I think you meant it sincerely, I suppose. I hope so. But other men are gonna tell you that too. Doesn't mean that you need to feel obligated to give the person an opportunity. You don't want to waste their time. You don't want to waste your time. So I think, like, if you don't feel peace, if you don't feel that, then that's, don't feel obligated to go through with something. And I don't know if you have anything to add to, like, did you feel also that something wasn't right when you were trying to meet other people, or how was it for you?
I think it's different for men than with women, because with men, the man has to, attack the prey when the prey is the woman. So I think that it's different, because the man has to take the initiative, and the woman usually is the one that accepts or denies or rejects the man.
So are you saying that you're just trying to hit as many praise as possible?
No. I'm just
the way you make it sound.
When
We're
I
gonna have to
wait,
delete
wait,
this. This is not good. You're gonna get a lot of haters like that.
I want to make a point here. I felt a lot of peace when I was talking with you.
Okay. But what about with other people? Did you
No.
feel that peace?
No, I usually.
What made you then stop things from
When
progressing?
I felt something with another girl, like I don't like that.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
You know,
I remember you told me.
yeah. When I was talking with that girl or with some girls, I was talking with them and I said, I cannot live with that. You know, if this person is like that, I cannot do it. I cannot go forward. One example is I don't know. This person is gossip. You say that?
Gossiping?
Is gossiping. Oh no, I cannot tolerate a person who is gossip. I know that many people struggle with that, but I know you don't. So you never gossip. So I feel a lot of peace with that. And there are many things. Oh, this person only likes this kind of situation, this kind of clothes, this kind of I don't know. And I said no, I cannot afford that. Maybe if I'm rich some day later, but right now I cannot. So this person will be frustrated with me. So I said no, this person is not for me. And I used to like reject an ex in their
Swipe
photo.
right.
Like, no, this not, and then I was alone.
Yeah. Did you ever use dating apps?
I cannot talk.
I never asked you that. I never asked you that. Oh, really? If you can't answer truthfully, you must be hiding
I'm
something.
sweating. Is that normal?
Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with dating apps. There's Christian dating apps. I never use it. I just felt like, I don't know, personally, I just feel like I don't want something to happen that way. But in the end, though, our relationship did develop a lot online either way.
What different?
To get down to the nitty gritty, I think Andres and I met at a youth camp from our church. It was the first international youth camp, the first time they opened it internationally. And I was just telling him today, I probably wasn't even gonna go because I remember that day at the airport. So, like I was saying, that morning that I was going to take the flight to the youth camp, I had a very strong stomachache out of nowhere. It was really strange. And I was just prayed about it. I was like, God, like, I don't know, like, how can I be during this flight the whole time with this kind of pain? And I just prayed about it. And then before I knew it though, like as soon as it came, it also went away. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because we're so close to boarding and I was thinking like, I'm not going to go, right? I was going to ask to get picked up, but I went there and we went, because all my friends were going, I thought it would be fun. But what was your reason for going to the camp?
For going, just to have fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think a lot of people also think of it like, oh, who am I gonna meet and stuff like that. But I really hate how girls do that to themselves. I feel like we're just shooting ourselves in our own foot because sometimes we are so consumed by little thoughts like, oh, that guy's really cute. Oh, did he notice me? Like, oh, he's looking my way. And I think that's just a bunch of mental torture. And I was like, I don't want to do that to myself. So I remember like mind blocking myself and thinking, I'm just gonna be here for fun. It's gonna be great. Getting together with other youth, with my friends. And I thought I'm just going to enjoy. I'm gonna live in the moment, and I'm not going to do all that to myself. So yeah, and actually they split us into different teams every meal time, right? After every meal time, I think we only got to be in each other's teams twice. But the real moment where we got to talk to each other, do you want to talk about it?
It was, I think, breakfast.
It was lunch.
Oh, it was lunch. Yeah. It was lunch and you were begging to talk with me, and
You want this to continue, right? Do you want to eat?
No, I'm not to get serious. I was there and you were at my side and you were trying to talk with me, and I was a little nervous because it was in English and you were asking me things in English. Not very profound questions.
No, it wasn't very deep. I was just making small talk.
Yeah, small talk, and I was like, oh, this girl is talking with me and I cannot explain myself in English, and because I was the only one Mexican there.
Mm-hmm. At our table?
No, I mean in all the camp.
I thought you went with other people from your church.
Male guy.
Oh.
So the other guys, the other people, their first language, most of them it was English, and for me, my first language is Spanish, and then it's English, and I was nervous, and you were asking me many questions, and I was, oh, this girl is talking with me, and I didn't want to scare you, but I was like nervous, and then you switched to Spanish, and I said, oh, you talking Spanish.
But I'm gonna put pause right here because
that's my version. Let me finish.
Wait, I have to say something really important because, okay, when you saw me and I was talking to you, did you think I was shy or that I was extroverted?
Normal girl. I mean,
normal. Because I think it depends. A lot of people that know me, I think, are split. Some say like, oh no, like Sarah's like really outgoing, and then there's the other half that says like, oh no, like she's really shy. And the thing is, like, it takes me a long time to feel like I know somebody and to call somebody my friend. Myself, I was in this table too with no one that I knew. I knew nobody there, okay? And it was just him. It was just you and the table, right? So I felt like for a while it was just us two at the same table, and I was like, okay, I have to survive. So I'm gonna put on my like extroverted facade, and I'm just gonna survive. And something I've learned is that usually you don't have to do that much talking, because I've noticed that you just ask people questions and they just love talking about themselves. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do it with this guy here. Just gonna ask him questions and let him take over and talk, and I'll just nod politely. So I have this whole thing in my mind, where I'm just gonna. But the thing is that Andres, he was just kind of like this, like on the table, and he barely looked at me. I felt like you were looking at me like from the corner of your eye, and I'm like, this guy must be really shy at first. But I mean, I made it really easy for you. I asked all the questions and basic questions where you could have just gone on and talked, but he was very reticent with his words. So then I felt like, you know what, maybe he just doesn't want to talk. And I was like, okay, whatever. Because lesson number one that my mom has taught me is like, if you ever see a guy that's like arrogant or who knows that he's all that or thinks that he's all that, like ignore him. Like that was like guys 101 for my mom. Like just, they're not even worth your time. And I was like, okay, I'm just trying to be nice because I don't know you. We're here. It could be really awkward silence. But after that, I was just kind of like, you know what, whatever, like whatever, dude. And then I don't remember switching to Spanish making a difference.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I don't remember. I just, maybe it's the moment. I only remember something that I think I stopped talking, and I was just, when I said like, okay, whatever, dude. And then it's like all of a sudden you started to like make conversation when I shut up. That's when you started like speaking. And yeah, that was it. But we didn't even really converse much. Do you remember how did we keep in contact, or how did that happen?
After that?
Because it obviously didn't make a very great first impression to me.
Well, I was watching you, and I said, oh, this is the girl I want to talk with. And you were passing by, but you never saw me. You said, well, maybe she's not for me, but I wanted to, and I remember I asked for your phone number. And you,
not to me.
No, first I asked you, and you said, I don't have a phone number. I said, oh, this girl is lying to me. I mean, well, it's okay. But anyways, I'm going to try to find her phone number. So I talked with some guys, and these guys take me to another guys, and at the end, like talking with two guys, one guy gave me your number, and I remember I put a number that wasn't correct, so I tried to add you and I couldn't. So I tried to speak with you by email after the camp, and you answered me like 2 or 3 emails, and that's all. We didn't talk because you didn't
respond after a while.
You didn't respond. Said, well, maybe she's not for me. It was a good shot, but it didn't work out. So this is our baby.
She looks like you, but she has my eyes.
1 year later, can I pass with that?
1 year later?
Yeah, 1 year later. Well,
okay.
1 year later.
Well, hold on. During this time, though, maybe I should just say my side from that part. I remember it was so funny because my friend was like, "Oh, there's somebody who like wants to talk to you. Like, can I give him like your information?" And it was totally true that I did not have a cell phone. I remember I wanted to do like a year fast without a phone. I felt like I don't want to be like those people that are always with their phones, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a break from it. And also my mom hadn't gotten used to using a smartphone yet, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to give her my smartphone. I'll switch to her flip phone, just for necessities, you know, because so my family can know like I was going home from college and everything, and just to keep tabs. And my mom had the benefit of learning how to use a smartphone. And so yeah, I really didn't have a phone. I wasn't lying to him. It's like those things, like nobody believes you when you say stuff like, oh, I don't have WhatsApp, I don't have a cell phone, I don't have Facebook, and they look at you like you're lying. But anyway, so yeah, I did not have a cell phone at this time. And I mean, to be honest, no, I did notice you, but I feel like I did see him. I remember noticing him kind of like, you know, when you scan like the room, and I remember noticing him when my eyes went across from you. But the thing is, that thing that I had said to myself, like, I'm not gonna do this to myself. So as soon as I noticed that my mind registered him, I was like, oh no, and I just blocked it, and I just purposely would not look at his area where he was or at him. I purposely did not want to just do that to myself. I just wanted to ignore all that kind of stuff and just enjoy the camp. And yeah, that was basically it. So just for you to know that like I did notice you, but yeah, I just didn't think much about it. I just, you know, didn't think it was worth it. Sorry. But other than that, I stopped answering his emails because literally my life, I felt like it's so boring. Like, why would he want to hear about my life? It was literally just college, work at the campus, coming home, homework, church, like on cycle. It was just back and forth. And I really felt like my life was very boring. Like, why would I want to? I didn't even have anything new to tell you. Like, I felt like it's just the same old, same old. There's nothing significant or relevant. I was tired of my own life. I was just kind of like, just tired of it. Like, where nothing changes, everything, the monotony of everything. So I felt like if I'm tired of my own life, what are you gonna, you know what I mean? I just felt like it wasn't even worth sharing. So yeah, and then go ahead.
Well, 1 year passes, all right, a whole year, and then my friends from church, they said, we want to make a travel again to go to this camp. And I said, oh yeah, I want to try another shot. I'm going to talk with this girl. So I sent a message, and she told me, no, I'm not going to go to this camp because I'm going to go to Israel. Actually, next week I'm going to Israel. I said, well, and then I quit with the plan of going to the camp, and I said, I'm going to try a shot with her. And I asked her, how much are you going to stay? And she said like one year. I said, oh, well, 1 year, we can talk 1 year. And then we developed our relationship through messages.
Basically through WhatsApp text.
WhatsApp, yeah. And then I remember I wanted to well, we know that we have a difference of the schedule for the time, you know. In Israel was afternoon, and here was the morning. So I remember I woke up very early in the morning to go to work, and I called you once. I asked for permission that, oh, can I call you? And you say, yeah, I'm going to go to one class, but before that we can talk, like, I don't know, maybe half an hour. And I said, yeah. It was like 6:30 in the morning, and I said, I'm going to go to work, so I'm gonna drive and I can call you. And you say, well, yeah, that's okay. So I called you and we spoke. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was, this girl, like, I like to talk with her. So
and I didn't want to say yes, but I felt like, if I say no, it's just gonna be like kind of mean or.
But then I said, can I call you again? And you said, yeah, sure, later. And then I insist again to call you, and this came very frequently, almost that we talk every day.
No, well, we did talk every day, but like with like having a live call, like FaceTiming, that was like on Saturdays only, I think, right? Yeah, and yeah, that's when I started to get to know him. But again, I felt like I tried to sweep any emotions out of the rug. Also, like I thought he was very young, and I've always said in my mind, I don't want to be with anybody's younger because like I know myself, like it will probably be really hard for me to respect somebody who is young. And so you just had a very baby face. And then also during our conversations, you would send videos like you like in the gym and stuff like that, but it was like habitually the things that you sent me where you do like lifting and walking on your hands and stuff like that. And I remember even a cousin told me, she's like, are you sure he's not like really vain or something? And that's kind of the feeling I got. And you were always talking about working out, and I felt like, doesn't this guy have anything else to talk about? Like that's also why I didn't take you very seriously at first. Like, oh, you know, you're a nice friend, but like for something serious, I feel like no, like this guy's just like he's just not. We're not into the same things. I mean, I think it's great to work out, but I mean, if that's all you talk about, then I like to have stuff of sustenance, you know? And then there was like a flip switch when I said it to you. I tried to say it kindly, but I don't know how it came out. Were you offended? And I just know after that you were like, oh no, like I can talk about other things, like and you were like, I can talk about spiritual. No, you're like, I can talk about spiritual things. Oh yeah, that was another thing because I'm so nerdy, you guys. So I feel like each time you would try to come up with a topic, like to teach me, so you always like the idea of like teaching me stuff. I don't know if you want to be impressive or whatever, but most of the time you'd come with a topic and I'd be like, oh yeah, I already know that. Like, oh yeah, I already know that. There's not a lot of things. I mean, I don't know a lot like deeply about every subject, but I like to inform myself a little bit about everything because I think it's very important. You always have something to talk about with strangers or with anybody, says the person who says they're very introverted, right? But I just like to be prepared. If you're caught in a room, I just hate awkward silence, so it's good to be prepared for that kind of stuff. And yeah, and you started talking more about different things. We enjoyed that. We had really great conversations. They flowed, considering that we talked more via these live videos and text than we ever did in person. And then what happened? Do you remember, April?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Maybe that's for a different video.
Something happened in April,
But maybe it's just enough to say, never pressure people, you guys. If things happen, they're going to happen. But I think, like you say, a man probably needs to be aggressive and show that they're interested. But I think that there's danger of crossing over and being too pushy. Where, I mean, I was at a point where like, you know what, if it's going to be like this, like I'm stepping away. I'm that kind of person. Like if something is like too much, I just sort of like black out and just like, nope. And I just don't move from there. Like that's just the way I am.
If we have more than 100 likes, we're going to talk about
what happened
and what happened in April.
that's a good one. What happened in April?
That will be a good movie.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that should be the part 1.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks you guys for watching, and